So tonight we are going to show you how I'm draw boring these top plates on these tenons and open mortises. It's not real hard, it's not real complicated. There's a couple rules you got to watch for. Big thing, especially in softwoods like what I'm using, don't go crazy with the draw bore. If you go too far, you're going to split things up, but I'll get into more detail with that as we do it. So it's going to be a short one tonight because there's just some other stuff going on, but I kind of wanted to get to this and show you guys what's going on and what we're doing, and so there it is. So hope you enjoy, and I'll see you throughout. So I told you guys we were going to be draw boring this. So here's how I'm doing it. Some of you may have a better method. If you do, I'm all ears. So what I'm going to do, so this is a 2-inch thick tenon here. I'm going to measure in 2 inches, and we're going to pop a hole dead center in here. And what we're going to do, we're going to go through just enough just to poke that guy right there. So I'm going to be careful, make sure you get enough, make sure you get in there deep enough, but try not to go all the way through. Probably what I'll do is I'll mark this depth on here with some electrical tape. I think a lot of times guys usually will drill these holes first, then put this piece into it and put a little point, but I've already got it together. So what I'm going to do is, like I said, I'll just put a little tape on there. It's a 2-inch thick tenon. So I'm going to measure in 2 inches. Remember, standard layout rule, 2 by 2 layout. But instead of only going 2 inches down, we're going to go our 2.5 right there. Now we're going to see if I could drill this thing square. Alright, so we're all set up. We got our hole marked out. I've got my, like I told you, I should probably flip it over and do it from the top here, or excuse me, the outer face, but we're going to do it this way. I've got my jig here I made for drilling 90 degrees, and we're just going to go in until we hit the tape on the drill bit. And what that should do is that should leave us a mark on the other guy there. Let's just see where we line up. Right on the money. There we go. Jigs are a handy thing. Now when we go to take this apart, because it's going to be the first one that we lay out, of course probably what I'll do is I'll go down through and hit the rest of these, but see if you guys can see this. Got our hole right there, and that should be in deep enough in here to put a mark on that. Once I take this apart, I'll show you guys how where we drill this to draw bore it. Alright guys, we talked about, I'll show you the draw bore method a little bit. Now, you can see I got this off center a little bit. Not too bad, but it's enough. But here's the deal. If I go down with this hole, it's going to lift this tenon out of the joint. If I go a little bit above it, it's going to push it down. If I go this way, it's going to push it out of the mortise the opposite way we want to go. But if I come in just a little bit, I don't need to go a lot. This joint doesn't have a lot of load on it. I just want to suck the plates together well. If I go up and over just a little bit, say right there, see where that dot is? We'll circle that there. That will suck this tenon into the mortise, and it'll also suck it down into the bottom of it. And that's what we're going for. So you guys would like to see that. Also want to point out that if you get too crazy with this, you're going to end up splitting that tenon out, or your joints, and it's not going to be able to handle what you're trying to do with it. Especially, you know, we're dealing with a softwood. This is white pine. No, like I said, I probably only need to go maybe 1/8 by 1/8 up and over. I don't have to go a lot, but like I said, you go too far with it, and you're going to split stuff out. So be aware of that when you guys go to do this. You guys, I forget the thread. There's a lot of them on the forestry forum that deal with draw boring, and there's some good, really good posters on there who are much more knowledgeable than I am on it. And said if you, Jim Rogers has some posts on it. Brad BB, I think his name is, has some really good, more on the engineering side, posts to doing this kind of thing. So if you want to learn more about doing that, I don't do it a lot, guys. But this is kind of just a general thing I'm telling you to make it so you don't have the mistakes, or you don't rip anything out. And keep in mind too, we talk about relish on a tenon, and this is a good example to show you guys relish on a tenon. And there's also some rules of thumb, and you can find those on the forestry forum. I'll do a little digging and post up what the general rules are. Like I said, this being my first frame, I'm going with standard rules, things like that, just to make sure I'm not biting off more than I could chew or having any kind of major failures. But this relish is from the point that this hole is drilled to the end of the tenon. You have to have so many peg diameters past the peg hole to support that. And also keep in mind, especially on these, that this is an open mortise. So the top of this mortise is open, so there's nothing to hold that tenon together. If you get too crazy with that, you have even more room for splitting this thing out, just because you don't have that the full mortise on there to protect that tenon, to compress it down. So that's just a couple things you want to be aware of. I'm going to go very slightly on this. Like I said, I'm probably going to go 1/8 inch over and 1/8 inch up. And that should hopefully take care of us without causing any problems with this guy here. I'm going about 1/8 over and about 1/8 up. And I want to make sure I'm going through square. Make sure the drill's going the right way first, usually helps. And check, make sure you're going through square and straight. Okay, we're through the other side with the point of the bit. I'm just going to come over and drill through the other way. There we go. There's one draw board hole for us. So I hope that helps you guys who are curious about doing that. You know, I've heard different things, different ways people do that, and some are a little more, some are a lot more liberal with the distances they go. I'm not, like I said, I'm not doing that because I don't want to create any problems. Does this really? I don't feel that this really needs to be done for what I'm doing. I just want to suck these plates in as best as I can when I have them up there. So what we're going to do when this thing goes together with the rest of it up there, it's going to set, this hole's going to be offset just a little bit up and over, or up and in to this face. And then as we draw that in, that's going to suck it down and in a little bit into the mortise that it's going to go into. So, well, it's a short one tonight, guys, but I just wanted to, I came outside specifically tonight to show you guys draw boring. It's kind of a crap tutorial on it, but it gives you a basic idea of what it is and how it works. Getting set up now to finish. I've got the wall post laid out. We did that tonight. I drilled the top set of holes, and I forgot to do the bottom set all the way down, but that's not a big deal. I'll throw this one back on there and do it up. But so anyway, throughout the week this week, we're going to continue with these top plates. Within a couple of nights, depending on what's going on, what my wife has going on, I should be able to get these things finished, and hopefully by the weekend, we'll get them up above. And this is only one side, guys, so this is how long some of this takes. But like I said, it's a busy, life is busy, so you work on it when you can. But I got enough logs yesterday cut that I should have the rest of my 10 by 10 material, no problem. I'll probably head out next weekend, hopefully, as long as the landowner gets them pulled out of the woods for me. I'll be out next week to get them home. And we're going to get those milled up. And then we'll do the other side of top plates. And after that, we can start working on queen post, purlin plates, and all that good stuff. So a lot more to come. We're going to try to beat the snow here, at least the major work. The dangerous work of getting this stuff up there and getting it set in place. So I figure I'm probably going to be putting metal on this roof in the snow. That's the way it goes, guys, and we will probably be working on siding throughout the winter. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a good evening. I will catch you on the next one.